Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Cars and Coffee with Kenny Brown. And we are simulcasting live at the PRI Trade Show today, and we're very excited about that. I'm Cari Southworth, and my co-host, Brad Grissom, with his Kenny Brown Cars and Coffee cup. Do you see that? And then
this is actually my Speed Therapy Academy cup.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing a live exclusive access to the PRI show. And one of our special guest hosts today is Jeff Lacina. I'll add him if you can see the screen there. Oh, he just went off the screen. So there he is again. Jeff, do you hear us?
Okay. I've got you guys.
Okay, yay. We have you on screen. We're just going to take just one moment, Jeff, and make a couple more announcements. And again, we don't want you to miss today's program. We'd like you to invite your friends. They'll thank you for it after. Jeff is going to be walking the show, talking to some of our key vendors and everything else. It's going to be a fun show. And we also have Lance from Fox Body FX with us. I'll put him on. He's going to be interjecting, and we're going to be asking him a few questions and telling you a little bit about what we're going to be doing with him next year. Good morning. So let's go back to Jeff. He's live in this. There we go, Jeff. Okay, we have the full screen on you, Jeff. We're ready to go.
All right. Well, it's great to be with Cars and Coffee and Kenny Brown Performance. It's a little bit of a tech challenge for this guy, but thanks to Brad's patience and Rich Cottrell helping out here, we are live from the 2022 PRI show here in Indianapolis. So for those of you that may or may not know, you probably, everyone knows about the SEMA show, but the PRI show, the Performance Racing Industry show, gosh, I don't even know how many years of the show, but I looked up some quick facts the other night. 1988, Rich says, was the first year of the Performance Racing Industry show. This year, 750,000 square feet here at the Indianapolis Convention Center, 3,200 booths and different booths and exhibitors from 72 different countries. Okay, so this is not a small show. And Brad was saying the other day that someone wanted us to walk the entire show. No, not in 1 hour. That ain't happening. I'd be able to walk it, but you wouldn't be able to see it. I wouldn't. I'm an old guy. I don't have that kind of running strength to be able to do an hour show. But I am here on behalf of Motorsport Park Hastings. I'm the general manager of a 2.15 mile road course in Hastings, Nebraska. I also own and operate Track Guys Performance driving events. And I know a lot of you have been to Track Guys events. We were contracted by Ford back in the early 2000s to do their SVTOA programs, and that's where Kenny Brown Performance. Anytime we were in the Great Lakes region, Cari and Kenny and Rich and Brad and the whole Kenny Brown Performance crew were huge supporters of our Track Guys Performance driving events. And we even hosted, or you guys even hosted an event, a reception there at the Gasoline Alley facility back in the day. So we have great connections with Kenny Brown Performance, and happy to be bringing part of the show to everybody live from PRI today. So there's no way we can show you everything that's here, but we're just going to kind of do a little bit of walking and talking, and there's some people we're going to visit with along the way. So I guess we'll start with that. Brad, Cari, anything else I need to cover before we get going on our walk and talk?
I think everybody just wants to see what's going on at the PRI show. So go ahead, Jeff. Let's see what you have to
share. Jeff, what booth are you in now?
I am right here at Hawk Performance. Whoops,
okay.
Let me turn my camera. If people are tired of seeing my ugly mug, I've got a face for radio, right? So we're going to go back to the other camera. So stand by. I have to go switch camera settings. So we're going to be doing this.
Well, Jeff's doing that. If you're just joining us today, this is Cars and Coffee with Kenny Brown. We are live from the PRI show. And make sure you take just a moment to invite some of your friends. They're going to be happy that you invited them. So
and don't forget, if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to give us a like or a heart-shaped wrench Share the video with your friends. If you're viewing on YouTube, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. All right,
And
Jeff, it looks like
yep, and Jeff will be answering questions or the vendors. So make sure you put your questions in the comments as we go along. And we have a great giveaway today. We are giving away a PRI hat and a PRI shirt. So to win that, you just need to put in the comments what size shirt you wear. Say love PRI and your size shirt. And then we will choose at the end of the day who wins that hat and shirt.
Oh,
It's all you,
donuts.
Jeff.
Donuts. I found the donuts. I found the donuts. Hey, obviously in the performance driving, brakes are a huge important part of what we do. And, trade shows like this, it's a trade show. It's the business of performance. So this is where you come and stop by and visit with the techs and visit with the folks that know what these products are and how you can put them to use on your vehicle. So it's a great opportunity. This is not a retail show, so you don't come here and walk out with a set of rotors or brake pads in your pocket. This is where you learn about the technology and you learn about the distributors. And this is a business. We all like going fast, but it's still a business. So this is where, in my time as marketing director of ProCharger, this is where we would visit with our racers, our race teams, but more specifically, all of our dealers that were selling and installing our components. So this is a business show first and foremost, but this is also where new technology comes out. Companies like Hawk are here to do that. Everyone, over here is Scott Performance Wire. So having cars in their booth is a huge part of it because that's what we're doing. So this is a really cool dragster. We're moving on from the Hawk Performance booth.
Okay, Jeff. So I have a question for you.
What's that, Brad?
Whenever you go to a trade show, you usually see booth chicks. Where are the booth chicks?
Brad.
Yeah, there are a few booth chicks around, but us old guys, we need a little help when it comes to meeting the hot chicks. So, some of us have to have a chick magnet.
Oh, so that's the best you can do for us, a chick magnet.
Yeah. See, it's working. This guy's got it going on. He's got his chick magnet.
Yeah, so, that's an old gasser. That's a great looking car right there.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about this show. You see go-karts, you see street performance, you see hot rod tractor pulling tractors, you see world racing, or this is actually a Grid Life. This is Tom O'Gorman's car, champion for Grid Life GLTC. This last year, I was actually at Heartland Park down in Topeka when he won the championship. So here's your champion's car. So, we see so many of these things on TV and YouTube. So here's a chance you can be walking by, looking at all these products, and get a chance to see these cars in person. Sometimes the drivers are hanging around.
Hey, not Rich. Jeff, I think I just saw Garrett. Is he there?
Yeah.
Ask him a couple questions. Tell everybody who he is or ask him. I think that would be really interesting.
All right, Garrett. Well, let's see. Everybody's got a name tag. So, Garrett, show me your name tag, and I'm going to hand him the phone so that he can talk. There we go. We are talking with Garrett Reed. Garrett, what's the name of the channel that you run? All right. So I'm going to switch the camera back to a mode that we can talk with Garrett just for a little bit here. So stand by.
Lovely. So make sure you ask him a couple of questions because, or have him monitor. Okay. Love to hear what you have to say, Garrett. I know you have an interesting channel. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. So yeah, my page is called American Muscle HD on Instagram. And it's basically like I would call it a community, a collection of all things American-based, American motorsports-based. It's not just late model. It's not old school. It's performance diesels. It's street trucks. It's a little bit of everything. So I wanted to cast a very wide net to be able to provide a a very broad amount of content for people to come and see and, you know, take inspiration from for their builds, and just have a place everybody can come and enjoy themselves.
So when did you start the channel?
I started this channel almost 10 years ago when I was between a freshman and sophomore in college.
Wow. I know you've done fabulous with it. What is your audience? You have a huge audience, I think, that follow you.
Yeah, I'm like just shy of 2.3 million followers.
That is incredible. That's absolutely incredible. And what car, tell me what you're working on right now.
Say it again.
What cars are you working on right now?
So I have a couple builds that I've been working on the last few years. I've got an 84 Monte Carlo that's been completely redone. It's got a supercharged LSX crate motor. And then I've got a 2014 Escalade that has a supercharged 408 stroker. And then I'm just now going to start building next year. I have an 89 K5 that's probably going to have a supercharged LS in it.
I sense a theme here, Garrett. You like going, man.
I like going. I like superchargers. I like big LSs, all that good stuff.
You know, I mean, there's so many cool content pages out there, you know,
Right.
with people doing it, right? You know, so that's what I was going to ask you is what twists your crank? What do you like doing? I mean, what's your, if you had a weekend to go do motorsports, what would you be doing?
Honestly, of all the stuff, I love road racing. I love road racing.
Woo! You're our guy, Garrett.
I absolutely love road racing. Just because it's a fast motorsports, but it's also very technical. You know, no disrespect to drag racing, but you know, with you know, road racing, you have to turn, you have to know when to brake and, you know, turn and all that kind of stuff. I like the technicality of it. You know,
and it's not just the car. I mean, the car's a big part of it, but it's also the brain, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
The software.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And so, Garrett, what was the first car that you started with?
Well, my first build was a 2011 Silverado 1500 that I actually took to SEMA when I was 21 back in 2016, and it was a supercharged 5.3 with a cam that we bagged. It was land frame 24, so it was a pretty cool little build. It was one of those that was a learning lesson for sure. I wish I would have done it a little differently looking back on it, but it was a huge stepping stone in my, you know, in my career and what I've done to be able to propel me to do these future builds that I currently have.
That is so cool. And you have a few other channels as well. Is that correct?
Say it again.
You have a few other channels as well?
Oh yes, ma'am. I have a gun page that's kind of goes hand in hand. A lot of car guys, car girls are into guns. So I do that as well. And then I have a truck page that's, you know, based around like lifted vehicles, off-road vehicles, stuff like that.
Well, that's really cool. You guys may see us doing more with Garrett. Garrett, we're going to let you go right now. I know you're at the show, and we thank you so much for visiting with us. We appreciate it.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Very good. Thanks,
Right.
Garrett. Yeah.
Okay, so here's something cool, Jeff. I know that we wanted to have you go by and visit a couple of Kenny Brown performance partner companies. So I think it would be cool. Why don't you, I think you're going to go to the Forge Line booth. Is that where you're headed next?
I'm sorry, repeat that again, Brad.
So are you going to the Forge Line booth, I guess,
Yeah,
from here?
yeah.
Okay.
We are
I think it
40
would be
minutes
cool to
before
watch.
the time.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. We'll just let the video run here. You guys can see how big this show is. And so I think it'd be cool to have Jeff walk through the hall while you guys check it out. And Cari and I will chat. We've got some housekeeping. Cari, don't we have a special giveaway this week? We always try to do a giveaway.
Yes, we do. I'll mention it again. If you're just joining us, this is Cars and Coffee with Kenny Brown live, and we're at the PRI show. And we were able to pick up, I don't know if Rich is there, but he can maybe show the shirt and the hat that we're going to be giving away. It's a PRI hat and a PRI shirt. And if you want to win that, all you have to do is put in the comments, I love PRI with your shirt size, and you will have a chance to win the shirt and hat. So look at this show. This is pretty cool. Jeff, make sure you stop by some of these booths so we can see what's in them. Can you hear us, Jeff?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
And this is probably oh, dude, check this out. I was going to say the technology that a lot of these exhibitors showcase here is just incredible, from both a component standpoint, but also what we would consider a whole good or a completed race car. So I saw this car yesterday, and obviously being a road racer, it's like flies to honey here. So
Jeff, our friend from Colorado, Jeff Jacobucci, is watching, and I'm sure that he's excited to see that new BMW GTP car as well.
Jeff Jacobucci probably laid hands on this. Well, he was probably under this car because Jeff does tech inspection for a lot of the races. So, hey, Jeff, nice that you're joining in. Need to get you out to Nebraska sometime, brother. All right, we are forging ahead to Forge Line. Oh, Pro Charger car. Check out this thing, man. The quality of builds of drag cars anymore is just off the chain. It's just incredible, the amount of detail that goes into these cars. Check out that paint.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is really sweet.
I mean, show car, race car, but at the end of the day, it's somebody's passion and their performance. So that's what this industry is about. Whether you're racing go-karts, racing dirt late models, or road racing or endurance racing, whatever it might be, PRI's got a solution. Oh yeah, hey, snacks too. So.
Well, we know how much you love food, Jeff. Looky there. Look at that, Jeff.
Gosh, Brad, does that look familiar?
Yeah.
Performance Optimum SP dual disc clutch. I know we stopped by and talked to our buddy Jeff yesterday. He's not able to be here today, but this is a clutch product that I think you guys use a lot of. Isn't that right, Brad?
Yeah, so that particular clutch you're looking at there, I think is their 7.5-inch dual disc clutch, which would be something that we would use in a Coyote motor. We would use that on a push rod engine. They make that clutch for just about anything. And so that's a great clutch. It's perfect for the track. You can use it on the street. It's not too aggressive. You can get a variation of friction materials that are available for the clutch disc. So you don't have to run a purely centered iron clutch disc. You could run something that's a little bit more organic and a little bit more street friendly. You can see a good look of the dual disc setup right there. That's their 7.25-inch. You can get various different size clutches. You can get 8-inch, 7.5, 7.25. You can get 5.5-inch, which is, I believe, what you're looking at there. That's what we would use in our road race car, and that would be a triple disc clutch. You can get that with cable or hydraulic. So really, really nice hardware. Quartermaster makes a first-class clutch. We've been using them for years. They've been a partner of Kenny Brown Performance since the early 2000s, at least, if not the late 1990s. So just an awesome product. Bell housings, they do starters. They've got a variety of different products available. Okay, cool. So let's make our way over to Forge Line.
Yeah,
and look at some more cool stuff.
Like I said, the technology that's obviously we always talk about trickle down technology and making it from hardcore racing into street and performance applications, and there's probably nothing more apparent than that than being here at PRI that we all have a passion for going fast, whether it's a street cruiser, an autocrosser, road racer, big turbos, big turbos, or drag racing or off-roading, tractor pulling, whatever it is. So it's cool to see how the true hardcore race products make it down to products that we can put in our street cars.
Look at that Fox body.
Yes.
Oh,
wait till you see what's under the hood. Wait till you see what's under the hood. I stopped and I looked at this car yesterday. EcoBoost.
Wow.
That is cool. Lance, what do you think about that one?
That's a fantastic build right there. That car is amazing. Yeah, that EcoBoost in that car. Gosh, the amount of The amount of boost I'm sure they're running through that thing, it probably flies in that lightweight
Yeah.
Fox.
That is gorgeous. Fortunately, was telling us about this car, and they said we need to stop by and see it. So I'm glad you're stopping by and looking at that. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, they got a full converted dash as well.
Full converted.
Looks like the whole interior.
550 interior in this car.
Yep. That's awesome.
And oh, hey, even look who's sitting back here. It's our buddy Rob Canan. I'm on
Hey,
the
Rob.
Hey, Rob.
There we go. See, and I was never on staff at a magazine, but I did a lot of freelance writing for Muscle Mustang, and of course, in my role at Pro Charger, my job was working with all the editors. So that's the other cool thing. Even though a lot of the magazines that we all grew up reading are no longer around in print format, a lot of them are in digital, but the people that created that content and helped stoke our fires and our passion, they're still around. They're in different roles. So it's old home week for even as editors being able to meet up with some of our friends.
Yeah, and Rob Canan was editor of Hot Rod magazine for a few years, I believe.
He was. Rob has worked on every automotive publication imaginable.
Yes, Rob is
He's a great
what you call one of our old school diehards. I enjoy visiting with Rob any chance I get. Even when I was there in Kansas, we toured the Evil Knievel Museum in Topeka one afternoon where he had some extra time. So, yeah, Rob's a great guy, and I visited with him yesterday.
So Jeff, this is a really interesting display. I want you to focus in on that. So that's what a blank wheel looks like. That's where a wheel starts. So why don't you describe to them what we're looking at here, Jeff?
Yeah, what you're seeing here is a billet blank. These are going to be a forged wheel, so it's all done under pressure. So this is the blank. This is what every forge line, or what most forge line one-piece wheels start out looking at. This is all one piece of aluminum. So there's the raw blank. Ooh, shiny. So this is the initial machining. You can see it's starting to take its shape as far as the profile of what our spokes are going to be. And then here's the finished product.
Really cool. That's really cool. And there's Mrs. Sharp, I see, manning the booth. Nice catalog.
Oh yeah, nice
boy,
catalog.
yeah.
The Forge Line display is always a magnet for car enthusiasts, and this year is no exception. Check this out.
Ford GT. I know Tim Allen is watching, and he's drooling over that car right now.
And of course, it's only got the best wheels on it, Forge Line, of course. Yes, this is a carbon fiber Ford GT.
My understanding is what they're doing is they had like 50 Ford GTs left, and a company is taking those cars and converting them into this product.
Hey, Jeff, I see Rich and Steve Sharp in the background. Steve's one of the founders of Forge Line. Why don't you see if you can go over and...
We'll head that way. All right, here's Rich. Where'd he go? All right, there he is. Here's Mr. Steve right here. Hey, Steve, Jeff Lacina. We're on live with Cars and Coffee with Kenny Brown Performance. Brad and Cari are here, so say hi.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Steve.
So unfortunately, I don't have a mic, so we're not able to hear you well. So I'm just going to hand you the phone, and you can talk about, obviously, we want to see some of the carbon fiber wheels, but just take us on a quick little tour here and show us what you want us to see.
Well, we call this the wall of wheels. All right. And we can start with the carbon fiber. It's the CF201. It uses a Dimag carbon barrel, and we bolt in a forged line center wheel, and that way we can fit a lot of different cars with minimal amounts of carbon fiber barrels. It's pretty cool, very lightweight. We have a whole line of heritage wheels. That's a big deal for the pro touring. Anything from an old torque thrust to a held band wheel to a Steely. So even the old ET mags.
Back to the carbon fiber barrel, what size ranges do you guys cover
It's
on
more
that?
of a street wheel. It's 19, 20, 21. It's really for the Huracans and Ferraris, and we want some better street performance. It's amazing how much weight it could be taken out,
Yes,
and
exactly.
it's a lot of fun to. And then kind of get into our new monoblock line, the NW 102s, 104s. That's a new one right there. That's an NW 105, kind of made for the new C8, C6.
And the monoblock is what we see up front there, correct?
That's actually.
That's the monoblock
Yeah,
slug, right?
Yeah.
That you start with.
it starts with 125 pound forging, and then goes to 50 pound turning, and then it goes to about 18 pounds for the race wheel. And the other thing that's big on our market right now is beadlock. One of the neatest cars that we do the beadlock now is the GT 500 Mustang. We can fit an 1811 in the back.
Really?
And
Wow.
that car is a monster, and it's a great fitment. And we're now coming out with a brand new 20x5 skinny for the drag car for the GT 500. We'll be the only ones that have that. And then some other 3-piece wheels that we do. Everything's all custom made to order. And obviously, you saw what's in our booth here. This is a beast. It's got a really neat story to it. The gentleman that owns the company, GT1, found out that Multimatic and Ford had 30 unused GT Ford 2005 chassis, and he bought them. And then he went over to Maybach and bought all the molds for the carbon fiber body kit and strapped in a Rock Yates Y45 twin turbo 1500 horsepower car engine, AP brakes, Multimatic dampeners, forge line wheels, and they're looking to produce the 30 of them for an undisclosed amount of money so far. We're not sure how it's going to go.
Yeah, some of these development cars, strength is so important in a wheel, especially with our performance cars today, because cars are getting heavier with all the airbags and all the
tires are getting grippy.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
A little bit about some of that testing that you guys do in developing your wheels. The amount of grip that the tires are able to generate, offset, right? It's doubled. So think about that. The amount of grip that our tires that we're running today has doubled from 5, 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, and it keeps getting better or worse.
So what does that translate to from an axle loading, and a wheel loading standpoint? That much more grip going through your wheel, right? Because the wheel connects your tire to the axle, which connects it to your vehicle, obviously, to get around the track. So what kind of loading have we seen? What loading increases have we seen?
Well, what you do is, let's say you have a normal, just a 300 tread tire, all right, and it can have a grip level of up to 0.5 Gs. And then you move up to a Hoosier, and then they're up to 1. It goes to slicks. The slicks can get up to 2.5. Then you enter into aero load. Now you're getting into 3 Gs. So every time that happens, it devalues the load rating. And so if you have a load rating of 2,100 pounds at a 300 tread wear tire, once you put that slick on it, it's half. Now you only have 1,000 pounds. And then you have an aero load, it's less. So that's how people get in trouble for underloading their wheels, when they add on the traction of the tire and aero
And horsepower, right?
and all that.
Yeah, it's all a system, right?
Yeah,
So if you improve one part of the system, you need to be thinking about the other parts of the system.
Right.
And wheels are something, they're just a wheel, I'm going to bolt on. No, they're not just a wheel. They are an integral part of keeping you on the planet.
But
very good. Excellent.
Cool. There you go.
So
right.
Jeff, I'm going to ask our audience if you have any questions for Steve, put them in the chat real quick and he will answer them. Steve is actually one of our master class teachers for the Speed Therapy Academy. We have him on for an hour and people have access to asking him all these questions. He shares so much information. He's a valuable person. So any questions for Steve?
None?
Okay, if we have, just real quick, if thank you, Steve, for doing this. I want to show what we're going to be giving away today.
No problem at all. I love
Okay,
you guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Have a great show.
All right.
So, Jeff, does Rich have a sample of what we're giving away today?
Well, Rich has jumped ahead of me here. He's
Okay.
paving the way to our next stop.
Okay, well, and when you have another break, let's show what we're giving away today. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Cars and Coffee with Kenny Brown. We are live at the PRI show. Give us some thumbs up, subscribe, and like if you're on YouTube. And also, we are giving away, let's see, a PRI hat along with a PRI shirt today for one lucky winner. If you want to enter that contest, you need to enter I love PRI with your shirt size. Okay, back to you, Jeff.
All right. We're making our way down here. Oh, Grid Life. If any of you guys or gals out there have a chance to stop by a Grid Life event, please do. I attended the one this summer, that actually their championship race at Topeka. And the guys and gals at Grid Life put on an outstanding driving event. They do HPDE, they do time trials, they do wheel-to-wheel racing. It is not your father's road racing, all right? So all of us old guys, and old guys, I'm talking over 45, we are going to feel like grandpa's there. We're going to need our walkers because they are 20s and 30s, and the energy is just infectious at a Grid Life event. So, but they do offer a time trial and HPDE, so that might be another place for you to get your track on at some of those events. So, oh hey, HP Tuners has a Mustang in their booth.
Okay, I have a question for Steve. It looks like, what does the CF wide body GT weigh? I don't know if he would know that.
Sorry, repeat.
The CF wide body GT, what does it weigh?
Oh, the carbon fiber.
Yeah.
I can, obviously I'm not in their booth anymore,
You can
but
stop by and
I
ask.
don't know if I even saw a sign around it or if it's been across the scale, but if I see him, I'll, hey, Rich is here. Rich, I wanted to see what we're giving away. Which one did you want to see, Cari? The hat?
Yeah, the hat and the shirt if he has it.
All right. The hat and the shirt. All right. So Rich is digging into his bag of goodies. Oh, hey, look, we got PRI lanyards. That's always good. So there's our PRI hat. Very nice. American flag on the side. That's nice. Oh, and Rich has been shopping this morning already. So look at this. Check this out. So there's our PRI t-shirt. Yep, somebody's getting taken care of. And Rich, I appreciate you being here and helping me. So Rich has been a big help this morning, getting us online and getting us going.
Again, just enter the comment, I love PRI with your shirt size, and you will be entered to possibly win that shirt and hat. Give us some thumbs up, guys.
Rich just informed me that Tony is not here this morning, who we were going to talk to. I don't know if he got called away, but I stopped by and visited with him yesterday. So, but they said he's here, but he's not. Oh, I see him coming. I see him coming this way right now. There's our man. Hey, Tony. Oh, all right. Well, we are live with Cars and Coffee. Kenny Brown, Cari, and Brad are back manning, but we also got people watching. So, unfortunately, I don't have a handoff mic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the stick here, and you can talk about. Brad, is there anything specific you want Tony to go over?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I know that they have one new product that they just came out with. I wanted to take a look at it. It was a product evolution.
All right. I'm handing the phone to Tony. Go ahead and introduce yourself also.
Hey everybody, Tony Gagne from HP Tuners. We're here live at PRI. Walk over here and take a look at some of our new product stuff here. Got the team here. Here we go right here. We've got the new MPV i3. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if somebody want to hold that up right there. There we go. So our MPV i3, newest device. After the chip shortage, we decided to increase a better device. So we have MPV i3, a little better accelerometer, more memory,
Still a robust unit. Works great with all the products we have. So we're releasing that right now. Everybody's, we got them in stock. They're ready to go, guys. Yep. You can order for our website. They're $399. The best part about this device, in my opinion, is this is an actual pro unit already. So usually you have to buy a standard or a pro, and the pro would be for your wideband input. This is already a pro, and all you have to buy with that is this right here, the ProLink. The ProLink cable is $49.99. This goes with that. So the MPVI-3 and that. So an investment of $450, you have this actually pro unit that you can import your wideband or an analog such as a pressure sensor or something like that. So and as you see on the wall right here, we've got our other stuff out there, TS7A, L5P products. We got our cables for our BRP. We got our stuff for our Polaris, adapter cables for that for our side-by-side market, transmission controllers for the GM. For those who are in the tuner shops, private label information, we have tuner shop stuff right here for guys that are sending out remote tunes all the time, different colors. Put your label on, your vector image on it, sell those as well. It's phenomenal here. And obviously you can see that Joanna's got her car here. You were seeing that earlier, did on it. So lots of new product stuff out there. The MPVI-3 is the primary one right now. And hey, it's the hottest thing on the market. We can't keep them in stock, but we are. We just finished another 1,500 of them out there. So they're in stock, ready to go.
How do people find you, Tony?
So
Wow, that's
hvtuners.com, you can get it from that. Let me go back to the wall here. hvtuners.com. Go right on there, and our vehicle list is on there to see if your vehicle is supported. Check it out. We have thousands of vehicles on there we support now. We're getting new ones every day added. Toyotas, we got Volkswagen, we got Jaguar. The market is wide open for this stuff. So if you want to tune your own car, your performance car, your street car, you want to limit the speed limit on your son's car he's driving or your daughter's car, our device will do that. So definitely,
Busy.
absolutely. That's it.
That's great. If people have seen Tony before on our Cars and Coffee show, if you're a regular, you've seen him. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's one of the top tuners, if not the top tuner in the nation. If you want to get in contact with him on tuning your vehicle, please contact Kenny Brown Performance, and we will put you in contact with him. Tony, you are also on our Speed Therapy Academy. You are one of the masterclass teachers, so it's just wonderful to see you again.
Thank you, Tony, for all your help. Appreciate it.
Ford bus got me tied up with the Godzilla motor. For those of you Godzilla stuff, do not forget the Godzilla stuff. So now we support the control pack as well. So if you're doing a Godzilla swap and something, we got you covered.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah, the Godzilla is the hot new motor now. So
What was that, Brad?
I can't wait for Lance to put a Godzilla motor in one of his Fox bodies.
Oh, yeah. Lance was doing a Godzilla and a Fox body. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, it's coming. It's gonna. I'm thinking it's gonna be in our '79 T-top coupe we've got. So, looking to maybe do a Godzilla twin turbo on it. So,
Whoa, that
yeah.
sounds great.
But that car right there, that blue Mustang, is driven by the girl you just saw, Joanna, that 1320 chick on Instagram. She's awesome. Her and her partner, they both race. He has a blue SN car, and she is just all about drag racing that thing. She's from Michigan. She works for the Ford Performance Registry as well. So,
what is her handle on Instagram?
It's that 1320 chick.
That 1320 chick. Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing, and just a great person to know, and just incredibly enthusiastic about drag racing. I mean, she's doing awesome.
That's a lot of people, y'all. Woo-hoo.
So we did have an answer to the question. Our loyal viewer and friend, Rory Merck, he says that the weight of the carbon fiber GT is 3,054 pounds. So that is extremely lightweight for just about any car. Most of the Mustangs that we race in, say, professional racing or NASA or a lot of series like that, those cars are about 2,700 pounds, to put it in perspective. So a 3,000 pound quote unquote street track car, that's really lightweight. Also, Jeff Jacobucci, who is viewing today, he says good news about the Godzilla engine with HP tuners, as that is what he is putting into his Kenny Brown short wheelbase Thunderbird. So Jeff is fortunate enough to have an original Kenny Brown short wheelbase Thunderbird that was built. The body work was done by Jeff Killian in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I'm sure that that car with that engine is going to be totally badass. I see we have the PRI pavilion. People are relaxing, taking a load off the feet. They've probably been there since 9 a.m.
No access.
No access.
I haven't seen Dr. Jamie since the opening breakfast the other morning. He's a little busy, but I know Dr. Jamie Myers from my Pro Charger days and when he was at GM. He's now is he president PRI?
Yeah, he is.
President PRI. So
Jeff,
Jamie is a hot rodder himself. So it's great to see that, knowing that we're in good hands, the performance racing industry, that is. So,
Jeff, can you stop and turn around and show everybody what Machinery Row looks like?
Yeah, we're right on the edge of Machinery Row here. We're in the Lincoln Electric booth. So here's all of your welders, obviously. The Machinery Row is just a buzz. I'm actually holding my phone closer because they actually have equipment here operating. Crankshaft balancing.
That's an expensive piece of machinery right there we're looking at.
Yeah, when you stop to realize when you want some engine work done anymore, it's not somebody sitting with a piece of emery cloth honing your crankshaft. We'll put it that way. The technology that's in this industry from a motor rebuilding standpoint or engine rebuilding standpoint. So again, we talk about this being a business show. So those people that run engine shops, rear end, suspension, driveline, transmission, all the equipment is here.
I'm always amazed at walking down the Machinery Row. I love walking down it and seeing the equipment and also smelling that you can smell the metals in the air.
I'm sorry, Cari, did you ask a question? I'm having a hard time.
No, I was just chatting. I don't have to repeat it because everybody else probably heard it. So.
All right, so Machinery Row takes up. I'm gonna send you up in the air here. Here you go. Whee! Hope you didn't get a nosebleed up there. All right, we're now entering the yellow hall here at the convention center. Like I mentioned, 750,000 square feet of displays. So it is a expansive show. And here's how you do live streaming, kids. Look at all this at the Speed Sport 1 booth. They just announced Ralph Shaheen, and there's Ralph right there, just announced the return of some dedicated speed programming to our networks.
Yay.
So I heard that there is a group that's bringing back what we used to call Speed TV.
Yeah, I saw them. I believe they've got it. Oh, BBS wheels. Woo! Suspension stuff. KW.
Is that KW? Can you stop that?
That's it.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I know
awesome.
that JRZ is fairly close to you. They're fairly close to Strange Engineering. It'd be nice to check out Strange Engineering's booth as well.
Well, speaking of, I'm rolling up on it right now. We're coming up on Strange Engineering. Doing a shortcut through somebody's booth.
Again, while Jeff's getting there, if you would like to give us some thumbs up, please. We have a lot of people working on the show and they would appreciate some thumbs up or comments. if you like the show. And if you want to win a PRI hat and a PRI t-shirt, please put in the comments, I love PRI with your shirt size. And we'll, at the end of the show, we will be choosing a winner. Look at that, Rick. Wow. Okay. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, we are here at Strange Engineering, and I see that Rich is here, and our friend JC is going to give us. We are live with Kenny Brown and Cars and Coffee. I got Cari and Brad here. Unfortunately, I don't have a mic to hand you, so I'm just going to hand you the stick here, because that way they can hear you better. But we just want to talk about what you got for our Mustang customers. And Brad, is there anything specific you'd like JC to cover?
No, I just want JC to go through and give us the nickel tour, so to speak.
Yeah, and also talk about the
JC.
How's it
also.
going?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about our street floater kit. This is our assembly here. And we also do a cambered version of it where it's we're trying to walk over here and grab this piece. So on the street floater kit that we developed, it has to do with the one of the issues we addressed is the brake knockback issue. So by doing a floater kit, locks everything into place so that you don't have the pistons bouncing back and forth for that. So your pedal travel be a lot more consistent and firm. And then we did take it a step further, and we now have our cambered floater piece. So we do have these blocks that'll go in here to change your toe in, change your camber. So we can go anywhere from a 0 to a -4 degree camber. And, and it's picking up a lot of popularity on the autocross road race market. It's been very good.
What are some of the advantages of going to a cambered solid axle setup?
Well, with the floater kit, I mean, from a strength standpoint, the axle only sees the torsional load. It doesn't see any of the bending loads associated with a flange style axle, more traditional style axle. So when you do a floater kit, as compared to it, all the bending load is absorbed in the housing, so it stays much more rigid. Everything stays more in place. The camber adjustment, the toe and adjustment, it basically accounts for, you can tune it to the track that you're running on. You can kind of help with your tire wear, your contact patch, and so overall it's a much better setup.
Right, and the strength of having some additional load bearing rather than just the outer bearings and the C-clips.
Correct. And with the floater kits, we worked in conjunction with Willwood, since Strange only offers drag racing brakes. We worked with Willwood in order to develop a kit for that. We've also worked with Bear Brake, so there are Willwood kits and Bear Brake kit options for the floater kit. So if you have a preference of one over the other, that option's there.
We might have to be talking. I've got those Bear Extremes on my car, so
there you go.
We might have to talk. This might be a good winter project. So.
We love projects.
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt.
So
how's the show been for you, JC, and business in general?
The show's been great. We've had a great turnout. The booth has stayed busy the whole time. It's always a great time to introduce new products, meet new people, and develop new relationships. I mean, this is the place to be. We wouldn't miss it.
Excellent. Brad, Cari, anything else?
Yeah, I just have a question for you, or a comment, because I know that Strange makes a lot of our shocks, and I think Kenny has a special valving that he has put in all the shocks, and so you do custom shocks, correct, for your suppliers?
Yeah, and that we do. We've worked with you guys on developing the double adjustable coilover strut assembly. We do have some customized valve packaging for it, just to accommodate the applications you guys are using them for. So we do them for the Fox body, the SN97, the S197 platforms. So both the struts with the coilovers and the coilover shock assemblies. So we have plenty of options, including even just direct replacements if somebody doesn't want to get that advanced into their, upgrading the suspension.
Yeah, I use the Strange double adjustable struts and rear shocks on our road race Mustang, which is an SN95, and I absolutely love the Strange product. So I was, before that, we were running Conies, and they just didn't get the job done. And so the new shocks that we got from Strange Engineering that Kenny developed, or they've built, for Kenny with his specifications. We use them. We love them. They're great, particularly on the IRS car.
And I think they're exclusive to Kenny Brown, so you have to buy them
Yep.
through the KennyBrown.com website.
Yeah,
So,
they only make that shock for Kenny, so it is designed just for road racing and for open track, and so you've got to basically contact us, and we'll help you out.
All right, JC, we appreciate your time, sir.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by.
There you go. See, now you get to, put the face with the name and the product. But yes, the folks at Strange, great engineering company, but even better, a company to work with and get us the products that we need for our specific applications. So, and I've a gentleman that worked with me when I was at Pro Charger is now the designer at Strange. So I've even got another connection. So,
Wow,
that's pretty
great.
cool. So Lance from Fox Buddy FX, who was with us, he mentioned that, what he likes the carbon fiber wheels. What products that we're showing you, or what products would you like to see? You want us to try to go by their booth? Why don't you put it in the comments if there's something special you want to see, and we'll try to accommodate that.
Jeff, what booth are you going to now? I wanted to have you stop by the not Strange, but Impact Racing.
Let's see. Impact. I see Impact. I was headed towards Ford, but
Yeah, let's go with Ford first. I think Ford's a little bit closer.
there's one of the SRX cars. Paul Tracy last raced this one, so fitting that it's got some black on it. Paul was the bad boy of the SRX series. So, all right. So,
He was the bad boy of every series, I think.
you want me to go to Ford or?
Yeah, let's stop by Ford, because I might have a special guest there waiting. That's not a Ford employee.
Check that out.
That's an expensive transmission right there.
Yes, sirree, Bob. All right.
I believe that's the new X-Track transmission that they're running in the NASCAR series, if I'm not mistaken.
See, there's all sorts of shiny, bobbly things that you see that get your attention here. So,
Yeah, the company that you just walked past, Shields, they're based in Indiana, and they make the Lexan windows that we use in race cars. So Shields is based in Martinsville, Indiana, which is just about 30 minutes south of Indianapolis, Indiana. And so they make a great product. They make a product that is scratch proof, so it's perfect for use in race cars. And they always have smartly attired young ladies who are handing out information.
they even have blue Santa hats on, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, great company to work with.
We're getting close. Hang with you, everybody. Zigging and zagging. I don't know if my buddy
that's one thing about the PRI show is there's so many people.
Today or not. I'm sorry, Brad, I interrupted.
I was just saying that's one thing about the PRI show is there can be a lot of people to zigzag in and around.
For sure. It's not too bad over here. I'm sort of on the edge now of the yellow hall. We've come all the way through the yellow hall. More wheels. Did everybody catch Leah Pruitt there? Mrs. Tony Stewart there that we just walked by?
No, so let's check. Huh.
All right, hold on. I'm lost. I'm wandering. Here we go. I think I'm getting close to. I see him. Stand by. Last year, I literally, she actually ran into me. She was on her phone. She was texting and walking, and literally ran into me and was very apologetic. But I accepted her apology.
What a good guy.
I know Leah. She's a great person. E3 Spark Plugs, which is based just north of me here in Jacksonville, is one of her sponsors, and I met her through their marketing team there. But she's a great racer and a great, genuine individual as well.
Oh, hey, I see Rich. Look who else we found.
Jonathan Blevins.
Hi, Jonathan.
We are live with Kenny Brown Cars and Coffee. And we're here in the Ford display, but Jonathan Blevins of Chicane 23. Also, Jonathan, many of you know from our track guys and our Ford SVTOA programs and even the Kenny Brown 25th anniversary. I think you still had your Factory 5 Cobra at the Kenny Brown. Yeah. So Jonathan also this year was the first Ford powered vehicle to win the season championship, the national championship that they call it for the Optima Search Ultimate Streetcar Association, correct? So it's great to have Jonathan here. I know he's wandering the show as well, so appreciate you being here. So, anything you want to add?
I don't think so. Pretty well on there.
Unfortunately, we don't have a microphone that I can hand you. So if you talk closer to the phone, but talk about the importance of handling in what you do in the competition.
Handling and tunability of the handling is vital for what we're doing. I mean, we go and transition from an autocross to the road course and back to the autocross within a weekend. And you've got to have a car that's tunable and adjustable and can get the handling dialed in for all the activities throughout a weekend.
Jonathan, tell us about your relationship with Ford.
Relationship with Ford.
Oh, so we've had a long relationship with Ford. We actually run one of the Illuminator motors in the car. And we actually were one of the first one to get one of the new Cobra Jet intakes. This is the newest Cobra Jet intake. We were one of the first ones to get one of those, and actually the first to win a race with one of them. So
wow, congratulations.
Yeah, so that was when we switched over for VIR. We switched to a naturally aspirated setup for that weekend and for the finals, just to take the weight off the nose of the car.
And our longtime friend Mark Wilson actually had to head back to Detroit, but we had dinner with him the other night and made sure that he was still pulling for us grassroots Ford racers within Ford. It's challenging times for all these manufacturers as they're having to devote resources to all this electrification. But Mark assured us that there's always going to be internal combustion performance products available through Ford. So it was nice to get him cornered and set down on that. So this is the place to see that. So, all right, who else are we looking for here? I see James Lubert. I'm going to see Jonathan, you want to go see if James would have some time to talk to us real quick? We're going to just giving you a walk around here a little bit on the display.
Lance or Cari, did you have any questions for Jeff in advance?
No,
I
I
think
don't right now.
the products they've got out there are pretty fantastic. I like that Ford Performance has continued to just step up every year because there's so many people that they love the Ford Performance products. So I'm glad they're there and with a big showing. That's I think a big thing. So especially after Ford wasn't at SEMA this year, so I'm glad to see him at PRI and a lot of cool products.
That's cool. Mark Wilson, who is not here, but he's been with Ford forever. And Jeff, what is he doing at Ford right now? I think he's kind of heading up a lot of things.
I'm sorry, Cari, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just talking about Mark Wilson. What is his position right now? I don't know the official title. I know he's heading up a lot of things at Ford and Ford Racing.
Gosh, I don't even know what his official title is now. He leads a lot of programs. He's been there, 20 some years. And his thing was, I know how to get stuff done. And that's always been my take on it. So, but I know he does a lot, obviously, on Ford Performance products, but also the vehicle personalization and taking components from like the GT350s. When the GT350 production ended, all that technology was there. So why not put it on a Mach 1 package? So, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in producing those cars. But if the components are there, they just roll them forward. So
yeah, Mark Wilson is a true performance enthusiast. He back in the day, him and I can't remember the name of the guy ran NASA with an IRS Cobra and had the Kenny Brown products on there, and they did well with it. They loved the car. But yeah, he's a true racer, true performance guy, and you don't find that a lot in a lot of the big manufacturers. So we're very fortunate to have him involved in the Ford program, Ford performance program. Well,
Some of the behind the scene things that Mark, when we had him at dinner the other night, Mark, you need to be here to defend yourself, dude. But here's their new Megazilla 7.3 crate engine.
And that engine comes with a control pack, so it can be used in a resto mod application or as a replacement for a newer car as well.
So, of course, Jonathan and I said, why isn't it the Godzilla? They can't trademark Godzilla.
Oh,
they had to trademark Megazilla, because Godzilla obviously is a creation. I don't know if it's DC Comics or where Godzilla came from, but it's not a trademarkable name, even though that was their internal name for the engine and kind of what the media gave it. So when you come to market with a product, obviously, what are you going to call it? So it couldn't be Godzilla, so it is now Megazilla.
That's cool.
So we have a question from a viewer, Dylan. What intake is coming on the Illuminator engine, and can you get it with the new intake?
All right.
Is there somebody from Ford we can get in touch with there? Are they busy?
Well, was the XS Illuminator? So this is the XS Illuminator.
I'm pretty sure the standard Illuminator still comes with a 2018 and up intake, and to be able to get the new Cobra Jet intake, I think you'll have to purchase it separate unless you step up to the 5.2 XS Illuminator motor.
There's several people up at the counter at Ford right now, so everyone is engaged back there. So I don't know if Rich has found us anyone to talk to.
And then we also have Dylan, or Joe Johnson is wondering if the Mustang Dark Horse is at the show.
No, Ford doesn't have any cars here at the show. If you've been here at the PRI before, Ford used to have a huge display in the center. And even Jonathan's car was in there a few years ago when he was the first Ford to win his class championship. But this year, Ford downsized. They've still got a nice selection of products, and there's obviously Ford cars here. But no, the Dark Horse is not here. But we did shake Mark Wilson down the other night at dinner, and he says, "You guys will like it." So, and then he smiled and went back to his roasted Brussels sprouts. So,
oh, good.
So Lance, I think, has probably got his eye on that Megazilla engine.
Yeah, that Illuminator's a sweet engine as well. It fits so perfectly. I think the looks. I mean, both of them are amazing. And I knew that the new Megazilla, what I think a lot of people are going to like about it is the amount of boost it's going to be able to hold. So that is a very impressive engine. I think there's going to be tons of applications on the turbo side with that.
And obviously, in the challenge that everyone's been having, taking the engines out of the trucks, is the intake manifold. So here you see the Ford Performance intake with the throttle body that isn't pointing up towards the top of the radiator support. So.
Yeah, there's actually a Fox body Mustang out there called Foxzilla, and they have put one of these in it. It's a autocross road race course. Bob and Preston Folkestad have created that monstrosity, which is amazing. And they are producing their own intakes for those engines to be able to be swapped in. That's a little bit lower. So it's pretty neat. They're coming out with the more people that upgrade to these engines and swap them out, the more products that will become online. So I like that.
Yeah, and there's just something about the package size of the 7.3 engine. I mean, even though it's very large internal dimensions from a displacement standpoint, but coming here and seeing it on a stand, you can see the footprint, the width of the engine versus the Coyote architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So the Coyote is a fantastic engine platform, but obviously, with the dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, it takes up a lot of room under the hood. So the 7.3 back to push rods, and subsequently a much tidier package from a footprint standpoint, and trying to get it into a project. So it will be interesting to see the development of the 7.3 product line over the next few years. So.
And that's the new GT500 crate engine, right?
You are correct. So if you can't get your hands on a GT500 for some reason, or if you're wanting to build your version of a GT500, if you think you can do better than the guys at Ford Performance Engineering, here's the heart that you would want to start with. 760 horsepower, supercharged, still hand built.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jeff, Ford Performance also has their Whipple supercharger on display there, and I heard that display was pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll head over and take a look at it.
Yeah,
it's right here.
let's do that.
Yeah, you know, on this version, they went to what's, you know, called a blow up type intercooler. So here you get a chance to see this. So they've got it opened up here. Here's their, well, let me start at the top so you can see it's the Whipple design with the vaned housing. But here are your heat exchanger, or excuse me, your intercooler cores in essentially the lid. And obviously here's your throttle body, your puller, or your pulley with the shaft that runs through. So here, you know,
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, you can see as a marketer myself, the challenge is always, how do we show our products? How do we put them in a way that they sort of explain themselves? So they did a nice job here with this display of opening up the supercharger case and housing so we can see. We're looking right down into the rotor cartridge where the air comes out. The air will then go up into the heat exchanger and then back down into the runners, right down into the cylinders to make boom boom power. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're watching and you're interested in putting a Roots style supercharger on your car, and you want to make just ungodly amounts of horsepower, that is the type of supercharger system that you want to use. Whipple is the premier manufacturer in terms of maximum horsepower with that type of a supercharger kit. Obviously, if you were going to run a centrifugal supercharger, ProCharger seems to be the way to go, but Whipple rules the world when it comes to a Roots type supercharger. So you would normally people would take the factory Eaton style supercharger off their car and they would switch to a Whipple. And with a Whipple on a Coyote, you know, you can make well north of even 1,500 horsepower with a blower kit like that.
Yeah, these new highly efficient positive displacement twin screw blowers, they're now at what, up to 3 liters?
Yep. Yeah, that's a 3-liter we're looking at right there, I believe.
Right. Let me see here. Yep. Gen 5 3-liter Whipple supercharger. So 3 liters means more displacement than the 2.3 EcoBoost.
Exactly.
In the supercharger.
So I think
So Rory was asking if there's any major E85 advances at Ford, and so I'm not sure necessarily that they've come up with any advancements. That's probably not their wheelhouse. But Joe Johnson was asking if the new Cobra Jet intake will accommodate a dual throttle body versus a single throttle body. I don't believe so.
I think that's just a single throttle body on the Cobra Jet. That dual throttle body is being newly developed, or has been newly developed for that dark horse. That's going to be their projected 500 horsepower package on the Coyote.
Gotcha. Okay, good information. So there you go, Joe.
So I don't think Evan Smith was going to meet us at the Ford display, and I don't think he's going to make it, Jeff. So just want to heads up on that.
Seen Evan wheel up yet. I'm sure it's hard for him to get through the crowd as well. So.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can catch up with him, but I'd love to see what Impact Racing is looking like.
All right, off to Impact Racing. Let's go.
And you're going to walk right past the AIM booth, it looks like, as well. So they've always got cool technology.
And if you're out there driving on a road course or autocrossing, if you have not adopted data and analytics to your program, you need to. It's never been easier to get. I mean, even if it's just a solo timer. But you know, with OBD2 and the accessibility to it, there's so much data that you can now bring into your car.
And so that's similar to what you would see in some of the Ford racing vehicles. They've used AIM in a lot of the boy racer cars in the past. I don't know if they use Motec on the newer ones, but the AIM systems are great. They're cost effective. You can integrate them with cameras. You can get full CAN bus OBD2 data integration right from the vehicle computer, and so it's a perfect tool. It can be a dashboard replacement, or it can be your dedicated dash if you're building a race car from the ground up. And so the AIM product is something that Kenny Brown Performance has used a lot in the past, and we've got a lot of customers that use them as well. I see they have a nice sim rig in there.
Name that track. Did anybody name that track that we're driving? What is it? It's Laguna.
Laguna Seca.
He's in a Miata at Laguna. Nice. All right. Yeah, driving sims are great draws to companies' booth, but especially when it relates to products. I mean, here you see a Solo 2 on a motorcycle. Why? Because fuel injection and all the data that fuel injection is now able to bring right to your handlebar.
That's interesting.
Very cool.
Really cool display.
Hey, do not stand next to that. Yikes.
Wow.
Oh, this Bronco is beautiful. Sorry, I got distracted by something shiny. Woohoo.
That is beautiful.
Oh, there you go. That thing is nice.
Oh, dude, it is beautiful. And uncut rear fenders. So,
Wow.
Oh,
So again,
we're
this
still walking.
Yeah, this is the last call. If you want to win the PRI hat and the PRI shirt, place in the comments, I love PRI, and your shirt size. And we will, actually, Jeff, you're going to be telling us who wins. So at the end of the show. And I know
I get to tell people who wins.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Oh, hey, here's Impact.
Looks like you lost Rich somewhere along the way.
Well, I think he might have gone ahead here. We'll see if I see him. I don't see Rich hanging out. But that's the other thing, guys and gals. If you're out here driving and enjoying your car on a track, there is absolutely no, zero, none, nada excuse not to have a good helmet, a good head and neck restraint device, and even a good suit. It can happen. We drive cars with fuel, oil, whether it's an injector that might blow out and start an engine on, or a fire on top of the engine, or a fuel line that ruptures, or an injector fitting that blows, that cracks. There's no excuse not to be wearing as much safety products as possible. So,
yeah, that's a really cool display. Pan to your right a little bit. I see we have Antron Brown up there. That's Kenny Brown's nephew.
Oh yeah, they always teased each other about being related, and that they were. I think it was nephew, wasn't it?
Oh, look, there's
right
Ben
now.
O'Connor.
We are live with Kenny Brown Cars and Coffee. I've got Cari and Brad and all, everybody from the Kenny Brown Speed Therapy watching. So we are here with Ben. I'll get the name tag, that way everybody knows who we're talking with. Ben O'Connor with Impact. Ben, how long have you been hanging around the performance industry?
It'll be 39 years.
39 years.
this
You're not
year.
that old, dude. None of us are that
I
old.
appreciate that. I really do. But yeah.
Well,
39
unfortunately, I don't have a microphone to hand you, so I'm just going to
Okay,
give you.
all right.
I'm just going to give you the camera,
Oh yeah. All right.
and we are live, like I said. So, what would be a good base setup for someone doing performance driving, HPDE, driving schools in a modified vehicle? Where would you want to see them start?
So if like a real true entry level type
program. Let's say you're doing something weekends or not even weekends, you once a month, a couple times a year. You're on a budget just starting out. You do something like our paddock suit right here, right?
Okay. The camera is not correct. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Right. Didn't know where the camera's going. Right. So we have the paddock suit here. This is a
base entry level suit.
Yeah, it's an SFI 5, 3 layers. And SFI 5 is actually good even for competition, right? It's good for about anywhere you're going to go. But for the good price point, we've got a one-piece there, it's $349.
All right, that's a one-piece suit, guys. 3-layer SFI 5.
Yeah, SFI 5.
And most races don't require what's the other rating? The SFI.
They're like 15s and 20s, right, things like that. So these suits, really, you'd be able to compete almost anywhere in the world, really. Exactly. With this suit. Yeah.
$349 for one piece.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So then if you want something maybe a little bit more comfortable, a little bit thinner, a little bit better breathability, we've got our Axis suit, right? Also an SFI 5. And you've got a little plusher liner there, as Jeff's showing you right there. All right. We've got some stretch gussets in the back of the suit, to kind of show you, all right, which I'm sorry, in the shoulders here, right? So the arms, a little bit more flexible in the arms, a little bit better mobility.
Big guys, chesty guys.
And we're on the road course here. We're turning the wheel a little bit more than maybe drag racers, stuff like that. So that's important, right? Just good breathability. That suit there, $529, and that's it's an air mid fabric suit, right? So it's true FR rated. It's not a treated suit. You can't wash out the treatment anything accidentally or something like that.
Right, because there are treated suits that have a chemical treatment on it, right. And over time and over grease and sweat and age, that protection sort of wears off the surface, right? So you want the protection that's built into the material.
Exactly.
So
right, exactly. Yeah, either in terms of in the form of either the Aramid or Nomex, which is just a brand usually of Aramid fibers. Yeah.
How about helmets? Yeah, like at my track, there at Hastings, I require everyone to wear an SA. Actually, this year we out of SA 15 this year. I think we're now going to be SA 20 going forward, and then the next one will be SA 25 coming, hopefully in 25 or 26. So what's a good entry level helmet for our drivers?
So we're going to look at our 1320. Let me see here. There's one right here. Right. So the 1320, this is an air version, and we have a non-air version. Typically in a road race, you're going to go with the non-air version. You don't need that forced air. You could do it. It is actually very comfortable. We have people do that on road course.
Right.
You typically in a road car, maybe not so common, but in professional racing, they may run that. But like I said, we offer the helmet in both. I just don't have to be standing in front of it. I don't want to move the camera around too much. Looking for it. I think that one down there in the bottom, I think is it. There's one right here.
And we have a close affiliation with Impact. And as you know, Ben has been on our Cars and Coffee. And again, he is one of our Speed Therapy Academy Masterclass experts. So we love Ben and all that he shares.
So this helmet here, it's a fiberglass construction. It is rated SA 2020. It's a full face helmet. And
talk a little bit about the eye port size on road racing.
Yeah, so we have in our line of helmets, you've got 3 different eye port shapes. 2 of them are the same shape, but they vary in the height of the port, right? The width is the same on both. They have really good peripheral vision in either one of them, but it's the height. So this helmet, the 1320, our draft series, we call it taller eye port, a larger eye port. And depending on what you're doing, it's really a personal preference. Some people like to have a lot of visuals. They like to have that feedback come in. Some people not so much. They want to be more focused directly in front of them. But depending on what you're doing, if you're a little claustrophobic, the larger shield can really help that a lot.
I wear sunglasses. I put my helmet on and I put my sunglasses in. So the wider eye port lets me get my sunglasses under my helmet that I can flip down my visor. Also talk about the adoption now of the head and neck restraint anchors.
Yeah, so starting in 2015, the SA 2015 standard, they made it mandatory to meet that standard. The helmet has to have built into it the anchor.
So the threaded insert's already in the helmet, so you don't have to modify it. So that you can take your any of the popular FHRs that are on the market and simply bolt the hardware to it. They all use a common threaded M6 fastener, right? And so you can bolt it up. You don't have to worry about getting in the right location.
I'm like you. I'm one of the older guys. When they first came out, all right, grab your helmet and a drill bit.
Yeah,
And, you know,
exactly.
but you know
Right. Those days are over.
yeah, those days are over, because we were actually introducing a stress fracture into the helmet shell by drilling into it.
It's not necessary so
And
much
not
that is the
fracture.
placement thing really was, you know, it's critical where the placement is for the device to work properly, right? So if you get it too high, too low, now you don't have to worry about that. It's in the right location. All the manufacturers of the FHRs and the helmets will come on a standard of that, so everything is in correct alignment. The dust skirt, or in the case of fire as well, it is an FR rated skirt.
Is this an FR or is this
Yeah,
just a dust
yeah,
one?
that's an FR.
So again, this would, you know, a lot of fires that we get in the car, and we actually had this issue crop up to us at Hastings this year. We had a car that blew an injector out of the intake manifold, and it was a flash fire up in the car.
Sure.
And the driver lost their eyebrow.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they had a full face helmet. Unfortunately, the visor was up, and the flash fire took their eyebrow right off.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a fire like that, but it was gone. So it's important. So this would also prevent the flash fire from coming up under your helmet, right?
Right, for sure. And I think even in road going cars, you know, we talk about this a little bit, and when it's not required, I think it's always a good idea to have some levels of fire protection. So if you're not wearing a suit, maybe they don't require it. Maybe an FR rated base layer, you know, would be a really good idea. But don't wear any nylon, polyester, anything like that. You know, stick to cotton. You know, if you're not going to wear a suit, wear jeans.
Oh, we want them wearing a suit. We want them wearing an impact.
You know, we do. Obviously, it's we want everybody to be
How about
well
head and neck restraint devices?
You know, head and neck restraints are largely going to depend on the car and the restraint system in the car.
Right.
Some of them don't really adapt if you're running a standard 3-point. They don't work with that, right? But if you're running a 4 or 5 point restraint, something like that, then you can get into the FHRs. A lot of people return like the original Hans, the originator of it, and there are different variations of it on the market. And again, if you're running a harness type system, restraint system like that, that's a good option. They absolutely work. There's no doubt about that. They've saved countless lives, that technology.
But again, these are the ones where you need a harness in your car, because the harness holds it to you. There are other options out there, but obviously this is the best if you got the harness holding it to your shoulders.
And then there's things like gloves and shoes, right? Anybody can use, you know, the best shoes, the best driving shoes available are going to benefit anybody, right? You don't have to be a pro level driver to realize the benefits of very nice driving shoes.
And at my schools, that's part of my education, you know, is right, heel toe and foot placement, because, you know, if you're not mashing the gas, you're on the brake and clutch. So having a good, I mean, look how smooth these shoes are. But also, you know, some of the early driving shoes literally used leather soles, right? But they were a pain in the foot to walk around the paddock. What have you guys done now to make these more comfortable for a full day?
High temperature, like a hybrid, you know, rubbers and silicons and things. Like a lot of silicon is, you know, pretty important too. It actually has a pretty high thermal stability. And then gloves, of course. You know, it's the one thing you're interacting with the vehicle. Almost the seat's the number one interaction between the driver and the vehicle. Right after that's the glove. Right, exactly. Your hands are on the wheels. It's critically important.
So why do we have an external seam on this glove?
Well, so it's a great question, Jeff. The external seam, what it does is it gets the traditional gloves, of course, they're sewn inside out, then they turn them inside out. That was done for cosmetics. Well, what they found out is if you wear a glove inside out, it was more comfortable because you don't have that bunching up of the seams inside the glove. So we started manufacturing them that way. Right, so it just makes for a more comfortable glove.
So what I'm saying is now the seams are on the outside, and you've got a much smoother pocket for your hand and fingers on the inside, especially endurance racing. When you're in a car 3-4 hours, every bit of comfort matters, right? So
I think there's other things too. Like this particular gloves, the fingers are pre-curved before they sew it. They've got silicone on the fingers, better grip, things like that, better tactile feel.
what's the story on this suit?
So that's the story. This was from Jordan Anderson. you had a Camping World truck accident. It was on all the highlight reels here about 3 weeks ago. And this is an SFI5, like we were just talking about. These suits have a TPP of 19, which means that you have roughly, they can have more than about 9 seconds of protection before second-degree burn. So that vehicle fire lasted about 21, 22 seconds from the time it started until it went out. It was an oil line. It looked like a blowtorch blowing in the car. And anyways, he sustained some injury, but very, very minor. A couple second-degree stuff. He's already mostly healed up. But it goes back to talking about underwear, gloves, socks, things like that. The places where he got burned were the place he didn't have covered, really have the protection, right? The neck, things like that. So now actually NASCAR's even talking about adopting some rule changes there to make sure they're properly protected. So yeah, it's interesting. And fire will always find that entrance,
Fire
right?
and water
Yeah.
always find the path of least resistance,
That's right. That's right.
Tell us about some of your seats too now that impact's doing.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, the office chair. Does everybody recognize that?
Yep.
Sorry, Cari, could you repeat?
See the office chair.
Oh, the office chair. There
Yeah,
you go,
right.
Cari.
They've all got the office chairs. They're all set up there now. The Kenny Brown, right?
Right.
So we got that, and then we've got this is our Genesis 2. This is a hard shell. It's a driving seats, FIM homologated. So again, you can use that in most forms of motorsports. This seat right here, it is a fiberglass, but because it's basically like a negative displacement. It's almost like how they do carbon fiber, where it's put in a vacuum and they pull any excess. They force the resin into the fiber, so it creates
denser material.
It's been much lighter. This seat here is 15.5 pounds. We have a full carbon fiber seat, very, very lightweight. It's 13.25, so you're only talking just over 2 pounds heavier for a fiberglass seat, and at a price point it's $875. We got the ability to move the cushions in this seat, the bolsters. You can adjust those. You can take them out. Fits a lot of different people. Very comfortable.
Right?
Yeah.
Very good. Because, like you say, seats are your most important contact patch with the car, with the driver to the car.
Yeah.
It starts with the seat, then goes to the hands, the pedals, the feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Impact also even does gear bags too. So,
Yeah.
guys, if
all that.
we're hard to shop for, right? Because we buy our stuff when we need it. So, you know, if the wife or girlfriend's hounding us for a gift idea, gear bags are always great ways to go too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just started working with the folks at Fluid Logic here, where you'll be able to incorporate a drink system right into the helmet. We're going to install it at the factory level.
Non-alcoholic drink, please.
In fresh air, stay hydrated, endurance races, things like that. That'd be pretty beneficial. So,
Cool.
I think that pretty much wraps it up, Jeff. I don't know.
Want some harness belts? Can we see some harness belts?
Oh, yeah. You can use some harnesses and steering wheels, right? We do steering wheels. All right. It's got different diameters we're doing. It's a 14-inch different dishes, depending on the application. Steering wheels, of course, very important as well. Just like gloves, right? Interfaces quite often. We have a variety. We have a latch and link restraint that we do. So more traditional racing type, where they use a hook and latch mechanism to fasten them. All right. So when you pull those across, it releases everything.
Oh, I got to put it back together, Ben. I made a mess.
No problem. No worries. And then we also, of course, we have the cam lock, and the cam lock really adds not just a matter of convenience in order to get fastened in the vehicle, but also from a safety aspect, because all of the connections are spring loaded. So if you're in an event, you twist the knob, and it forces the tabs out. It releases automatically.
You're not having to pull your harness apart. It's
there's no chance of things binding and things like that.
Right.
So that's a safety aspect. We also have a really smooth adjusters that we're using on these. It's difficult to do one-handed, but they pull real easy on the laps and the shoulders, just to help you get adjusted and properly tighten the vehicle. And as Kenny's talked about and preached for many, many years, and we do as well, getting those restraints really tight, very, very critical, preventing injury.
Well, thank you so much, Ben. We really appreciate you sharing all that information with us.
Yeah, no problem. As you know, anytime. I love doing it. Folks, got great audience. So always good times.
Okay, great. And we have most of the Impact products on the kennybrown.com website. And you can always call us for more details, or we'll connect you right up with the Impact people to answer your questions. So anyway, yeah, well, thank you, Ben.
Yeah, you got him. Turn us back over to Jeff.
Okay.
Shaky.
Thank you, Ben. Always appreciate your time, man. It's always great seeing you. Ben is one of our true, genuine friends. How long have we known each other, Ben? Gosh.
20 years easily.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier, the PRI is sort of an old home week for a lot of us. So it's always great catching up with friends, seeing how the family's doing, what the kids are doing, what's that dog's name you got, So anyway. All right, very good. Well, thank you for your time, Ben. Appreciate it. All right.
Okay, well, I think it's time now to give away our weekly giveaway. So, Jeff, I'm going to have you choose a number between 1 and 19.
Oh, between 1 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go 17. How's that?
Okay. So the person who wins that is Joseph Bellani. Joseph Bellani, if you're still here, what you need to do is send us, put in the comments your size of your shirt, and then we need to have that right away. And if we don't hear from you, we will choose somebody else. Joseph Bellani, please put your size of your shirt in the comments, and we will pick that up and get it mailed to you. You need to send us your address at info@kennybrown.com. I'll just wait another minute. We will choose somebody else if he does not respond. And
is that a GT1 car, Jeff? There you go, GTI.
Yes, sir. This is a very famous car out of the Chicago area, and it's just beautifully restored. But that's the cool thing about restored road racing cars, is they're still out there competing at vintage events. So I saw this car here last year.
Wow.
It's been around.
Gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Okay, before we, so people can get on with their day, I want to just get the weekly gift. The next winner is Bill Haney. Bill Haney, if you are there, we know who you are. So Bill Haney, if you want to put your shirt size in the comments, so we know that you received yours, or thank you or something, so we know that you're here. We will get that shirt off to you.
Yeah, Bill is a Kenny Brown Speed Therapy Academy alumni member, so it's always great to see our alumni members join us for these live shows, and I'm so happy to see that Bill was finally a winner.
And he is also in the Optima Challenge series, and he's building his car with all Kenny Brown suspension on it right now. So, okay, so it looks like I'm getting a Facebook user that says, I am here large. Can you please put your name there? Because I'm not seeing your name. It's showing up as, okay, Bill. Okay, Bill, great. You won that. We have your address. We'll get that shipped off to you, and we'll get you, it looks like a large. So congratulations, Bill. You won that. Okay, we can continue on.
I love that fire suit.
What?
I love that fire suit.
That's so cool. That is awesome.
Stan 21 always has some unique fire suit here. A couple years ago, they had one that was a full tux. So they always have a couple years. I think I also saw a bib overall style one. So they always do something cool for the show. So.
Okay, well, let's do like maybe a 3 to 5 minute walkthrough, show us a few more things, and then we're going to sign off. Jeff Lacina is a really good friend of ours, and I didn't do a proper introduction at the beginning, and he is also the director at Midwest
Motorsport Park Hastings.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Yes. And so he's been a really good friend, and known him for many years. And many of you know him. Let's see what else we're seeing here. Grassroots
Okay,
Motorsports.
so that's a great card, Jeff. So let's talk about that. That's got a cool story this year. It's the I guess the $2,000
$2,000 challenge champion. Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. The $2,000 race car is what they claim.
So a Subaru LMP 360. So you can read it here. It was an abandoned Subaru 360 KEI, reimagined as a prototype racer, functioning aero, all for less than $2,000. Daniel Cummings built this car. Total budget $1,976.32, or I'm sorry, 73.
Wow.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Hold on, we're gonna go inside. Woohoo! I can do this.
That is groovy.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen that car a lot lately in the press. A lot of people have talked about it. Apparently, that car is brutally fast as well.
And right here is the man.
All right.
Daniel, where are you from?
Central Illinois.
Central Illinois. So was this your first attempt at building a car for the $2,000 challenge?
Yeah, this is my first $2,000 challenge car. It's not my first time building a car, not like this, but kind of like this. I've got a tube-frame MG midget.
Tube-frame MG midget.
With a 13B rotary.
You are into the
Obscure little cars.
obscure and eclectic, right? Yeah, very cool. Well, but that's the cool thing about motorsports, right?
Right, exactly.
Build it and run it.
That's right. This is my second run. So I built this car last year, got it done, but not finished aesthetically, but mechanically it was done. I ran it at the $2,000 challenge last year. It got 6th overall. And then I took it home and did all the body work. So this year was all about body work, aero, underbody, all that stuff. And just kind of refining it. I ran it at SCA Solo Nationals this year. So I've ran it more this year.
Right.
So I kind of knew
More
how,
testing, more shakedown, right? I mean,
I actually adjusted and aligned it this year instead of last year. And so
you actually put an alignment on it? Amazing.
I know,
Wow.
I quarter weighted it.
You're a wild man. You're a wild man.
Not by jack stand lifting and seeing when it landed. But so yeah, I had some tuning and testing time on it, and it won this year event. And now it's going to become a time attack car where I'll spend tons of money on it and like maybe $2,000 and try to get it to about 300 horsepower.
What's the horsepower now? 170 horsepower.
And it's 1,550 pounds.
1,550 pounds.
Wow.
Nice. Very nice. Well, it's Daniel. He's the man that built this. So it's the cool things and cool people you see. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate your time. Oh, here's some more expensive transaxles, Brad. Oh, transmissions.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's amazing how many transmission companies there really are that are out there. I'm sure that this looks like a European type of product, but, you know, wow, look at that. That's not sure what kind of car that's for, but that's a nice piece of hardware right there.
Well, let's see. Trying to read here. It's a transaxle, 6-speed sequential. Lots of ratios. Yeah, so this would be if you're doing a custom build or maybe an Optima build where you want the transmission in the rear, in the back end of the car. So.
Yeah, that's very cool.
All right, Rich, what else do we see? Rich is still wandering with me. Rich has been a big help getting my interviews lined up ahead of time, but we're going to have to give Evan Smith a bad time that he ditches us. So I think he's going to buy the beverages tonight.
Yeah, I think you need to give him a bad time.
Oh, we got to give Evan a bad time. I saw Campy Stango the other day, but he was doing business things. Oh, here we go. We got to see this. I'm a farm kid, right? I grew up on a farm. Still own land. You follow me on Facebook, you saw some of my harvest photos, but we never got this demented. Look at this thing.
That's gorgeous.
Love that.
That's so cool.
Wait till you step back.
Wow. That's incredible. Looks like it's got a Cummins in it.
So we're going to be ending the show shortly. So if you're enjoying this, give us a thumbs up or a yes. That if you want us to do this again, maybe we can do it at SEMA or PRI again next year. So let us know if you like the job that Jeff did. Whatever you say, if you say no way, he's just did a horrible job, we won't ask you back, Jeff. But Jeff, really, you did a great job. We really appreciate it. When we thought about doing this, we thought Jeff Lacina would be the perfect person to do this.
Well, I'm not a professional YouTuber or live streamer, but I have been known to get up in front of people and talk and lead them down a process. So I appreciate everyone sticking with me. We kind of doing this on the fly, but sometimes that's more fun, right? When we're just kind of wandering around and taking a look at what we see and bumping into people. As I've been walking, everybody's saying, hey, Jeff, and I just point to my phone and go, sorry. So if I blew you off walking the show this morning, I'm sorry, but we had some people to see and places to go. So,
well, you did just a phenomenal job, and like I said, we knew that you would be the man for the job, and I think everybody likes just kind of walking around and seeing some of the things that are out there. It's just it goes on and on and on. So.
Well, and again, it's not all even about the car, but here's your tow products when we're towing our stuff to the track. So you get to see all sorts of cool stuff here.
Yeah, so those hitches look really sweet. Looks like they incorporate kind of airbag technology as well, if that's what that is. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like an airbag.
Yep. Shocker
cool.
HD air receiver hitch. So basically using that airbag to take a lot of your drawbar shock out of, rather than transmitting it to the vehicle, you're absorbing a lot of it right there. So, especially if you're towing, 1,000, 1,200 miles or across the country, that's a lot of miles, because obviously here's just your standard hitch, but they've even got some other pushing style hitches as well that help take some of the shock out of towing. So,
well, Jeff,
yeah, it's amazing what you see at the PRI show.
That's right.
You're getting lots of thumbs up and lots of great jobs, Jeff. So we appreciate that. And Lance is still standing by here. Lance is, I'm going to put him on right now so we can see Lance. Lance, thank you for joining us. We had a little standby. Lance joined us in case we had some technical difficulties, and we did not. Yay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Lance from Fox Body FX is going to be with us. I don't know, we don't have a date set, but he will be joining us and we'll be interviewing him. He has a really interesting story, and obviously he's into Fox Bodies, and he will be joining us, and we're going to be doing some things with him next year. I'm not going to share anything else. Do you want to share anything
Jeff,
else?
Jeff, can you turn to your left? Jeff, go to your left. Let's take a look at Boosted's car. For those of you who don't know Chris Hamilton, he's also known as Boosted GT from the popular TV show Street Outlaws and Street Outlaw No Prep Kings. Look at who sponsors this car, Jeff. There you go. So Chris is a really good friend of mine. We JMS has sponsored Chris since day one, before he was even on the TV show. And we've been a loyal sponsor of his for, 10 years or more now. So he gets us a lot of exposure on primetime television, and he's a great partner. And that car is a legit car. It's all metal. He's probably got small tires on it right now. He's been running small tire on that car for quite some time. It makes a ton of horsepower, and that's it. Chris is an engineer for an aerospace company. I won't mention which one, but he is a legitimate engineer, and he's built that car himself. It has won him hundreds of thousands of dollars in prize money, sometimes $40,000-$50,000 in a hit. And so that is Boosted GT right there, what they call old nanner, I guess.
And what I like about it is it's as raced. I mean, it's not hyper detailed. It's not taken apart and cleaned up. I mean, we got bare metal, we got welds. Whoops. There's nothing fake about this.
Yeah, really cool car. Really fast car too.
And it's bright yellow.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to fill in a little bit more. I just heard from Evan Smith, and he is detained still. So we'll get him on the show again. If you're a loyal follower of ours, we've had him on the show before, entertaining us. So he will be joining us later. And if you need to go, we'll probably continue on a little bit more if people want us to, but just want to let you know we appreciate you being here. And the replay will be on, well, you should be able to see on Facebook right away and on the Kenny Brown Performance YouTube channel. And remember to like and subscribe, and you will be notified, and click the little bell and you'll be notified when we are live. We are going to have one more Cars and Coffee show before the end of the year, and that will be next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we look forward to having you there. We're working on a little bit of a program. We're probably going to do some memorabilia, show off some more of our apparel, and we will have one special guest on. So we will see you next Thursday or next Saturday, and we'll be wishing you a happy holiday at that point. So hopefully we'll see you then. Jeff, if you want to go on for just a little bit more, will people want to hang on, they can. Otherwise, we will see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So what are we looking at here, Jeff?
Checkered flag. I thought we were wrapping up, so I stopped by Flagtronics here and got the checkered flag on the session. So.
Well, that's great. I think that is a perfect time to wrap up. So
yeah. These folks do the digital light boards and displays at some tracks, including one that I'm involved with that we are looking at because they help inform our drivers. They take load off our worker crew when they can be responding to an incident, and rather than standing there holding the flag, they've got a digital flag board. Go ahead, guys, give me a yellow flag out here. On this one, there's the controller, so yellow flag, standing yellow, full course yellow. So I'm just hitting these guys on the fly. I was just walking by, so these light boards are just incredible. There's your waving yellow. Debris flag on that one there's our debris flag. So this is part of the technology that us as racetrack operators are looking at to make our facility, well, maintaining safety obviously is number one, but also being more efficient and protecting the workers that we do have. We face the same thing that a lot of other facilities and businesses do, is worker shortage. So this helps ease the workload on our workers by having some of this type of technology. So as you go to more and more tracks around the country, you're going to see a lot more technology being rolled out. So, and even Champ Car at their races, they carry the system with them. So any track that they go to, they've got the Flagtronics system with it, including the ENCORE. So guys, drivers, there's no excuse. Oh, I didn't see the yellow. Yeah, no, it's right there. Or the green flag or whatever it might be. But they've even got these in-car displays. There's your red flag alert. So guys, no more I didn't see the flags. Okay.
That's cool. Once you have them show us checker flag, and we'll sign off for the day.
Checker flag once more for us, please, gentlemen. Maybe I get to do it. Woo, there we go. How's that?
Great.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for bearing with me today. I appreciate it. Rich has been a big help today. Say hey to the kids, Rich. All right.
Great job, guys.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you very much. You guys did a great job.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care.